6 months. This year's conference will provide a forum, as Orlando has carefully pointed out, where ideas to advance this belief can be shared, investments can be encouraged, and partnerships globally can be established. And with all of this, we will further strengthen the resilience of our people, our island, and our business communities here and abroad. Discussions will also identify opportunities for collaboration and highlight the enormous projects that exist for expansion into various sections of the Jamaican economy. The preparation for the conference has been very, very thorough. Teams from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, other government agencies, and the private sector have come together to create an impactful agenda around which there will be stimulating, thought-provoking discourse marshaled by expert presenters who will facilitate engaging dialogue thereafter. Even when I read this, I'm excited, okay? A critical component of the conference is the development of a plan with actionable and measurable outcomes that will enable accountability for the decisions made. The JN Group values the contribution of the Jamaican diaspora, many of whom are members of the broader JN family, and we continuously create avenues to engage them through the provision of financial services, remittances, and importantly, by offering sound advice that impacts life-changing decisions. We also acknowledge the significant relationships we have forged with our members spread across 91 countries, and the dreams and aspirations we have brought to life for persons with goals of resettling on this beautiful island of Jamaica. As a group, we commit to continue to work with our Jamaicans overseas to improve the outcome for all Jamaicans, both here and abroad. Ladies and gentlemen, Conference 2026, as our dear friend Orlando has pointed out, promises to be a great, great event. We look forward to seeing participants from around the world. The continued staging of this conference is an enduring testament to the fact that there are Jamaicans everywhere, who are willing and prepared to work together for Jamaica so that we can build back better. We anticipate that this conference will be forged with new eras of partnership and strengthen existing relations with our homeland and the members of our Jamaican diaspora. Thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together again, please, for Mr. Keith Levy, Interim Managing Director for the Jamaica National Group. And we, of course, send our love to, of course, the Honorable Earl Jarrett for sending able representation. I believe that at this time we have a video of the 2024 staging to be played. Turn your attention to the screens, please. Absolutely, I think it does deserve your round of applause. One more time, please, for the 2024 staging of the conference. And wow, we've been through so much, right? We saw some scenes there of our country post Melissa, and our people, members of the diaspora, friends of Jamaica, being busy there at work, helping us to rebuild. And listen, we are not just going to build back better. I've heard our Prime Minister say it, we're building forward stronger than ever before. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing with this conference. And with you being home, as you saw just now, the persons who came here in the 2024 staging, they were enjoying some good jerk chicken from the grill. Oh, nothing quite like it. Nothing quite like getting some food straight out of the bakery. Talking about the patty that you love so much. When you get it hot, you can't even, bite into it all at once. You get some fried dumpling that just come off of the fireside. Oh my gosh, I hope you booked your tickets because it's going to be amazing. June 14 to when? The 18th, there you go. Put it in your calendar. Well, I know after watching that video, our past conference chair and our next speaker must be feeling very proud of what came of it. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the stage a legacy partner from the VM Group, CEO, Mr. Courtney Campbell.
Thank you to my fellow Clarendonian. But I've actually lived in 4 parishes in Jamaica. Would you believe that? And Debbie, one little question. I thought that was jerk pork that I saw. No? Probably I was just hoping it's jerk pork. Senator the Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. Senator Donna Scott Motley, Honorable Alanda Terrelong, Minister of State. Minister Desmond Mackenzie, Ambassador Cheryl Spencer, acting permanent secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, and other permanent secretaries who are here, other heads of department and agencies of government, fellow legacy partners, Frank James of Grace Kennedy Group, and Keith Levy representing Earl Jarrett. But really good to have all of them be partnering with you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be accompanied today by my wonderful team from VM, Robert Lala and Dennis. Good morning, friends. How are you doing? Everybody airy? Good. There's really a good feeling to be part of this moment. And I mean that genuinely because the Jamaican Diaspora Conference is one of those spaces where you really see Jamaica for what it truly is. Not just a country, but a global community. So let me first of all acknowledge and congratulate the ministry team and all organizers, my fellow legacy partners, and all other sponsors and participants who continue to invest in making this wonderful thing happen. VM Group is proud to return as a legacy partner, and we don't take that role lightly. When you think about this conference, yes, it's about dialogue, policy, investment. All of those things are important. But at a more basic level, it's also about connection. It's about Jamaicans, wherever we are in the world, staying close enough to home to contribute, to challenge, and to help move the country forward. Over the past year, we have been reminded just how important that connection really is. After Hurricane Melissa, we saw real hardship in parts of the country, communities disrupted, families affected, businesses trying to recover. But in the midst of all that, something else stood out. We saw Jamaicans overseas step up quickly, without hesitation, and generously. Support came in many forms, from cash donations, shipping of essential items, to boots on the ground support. The response reminded us that Jamaica doesn't just end at our borders, and emphasized the value of nurturing bonds between our island home and its sons and daughters living across the world. Now, from a VM Group perspective, this is something we've always been very intentional about for a long time. In fact, we were the first Jamaican financial institution to establish representative offices overseas, specifically to serve the diaspora directly. We recognized early that if we're serious about engaging Jamaicans abroad, we have to meet them where they are. And that thinking continues to guide us today. More recently, we took another deliberate step with the appointment of Leighton Smith as our Group Chief Diaspora Markets Officer. Leighton brings deep experience from leading VM Finance in the UK to several other leadership roles across the group, and his appointment is really about focus. It signals that serving the diaspora is not incidental for us. It is something we are energizing and expanding in a very structured and intentional way. We've also introduced our VM Diaspora Hub at vmdiaspora.myvmgroup.com. That's a dedicated platform designed specifically for Jamaicans overseas. It brings together our products, services, and the support teams in one place, making it easier to stay connected and take action from anywhere in the world. Whether it's saving, investing, or moving towards home ownership in Jamaica, the hub is about ensuring our diaspora members remain fully plugged in to the opportunities here at home. And on the ground, we've recently opened a new, more conveniently located office in New York. So for those watching online, come and see us at 2700 Church Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. This new and improved building is designed to better serve our members, easier access, more comfortable environment, and a better overall experience. But beyond the infrastructure and the systems, what really stands out is the level of engagement. Today, I'm proud to say that approximately 24% of our residential mortgage portfolio are extended to members of the diaspora. Those are people borrowing to invest in homes in Jamaica, either for their own use or for investment purposes. And that for us is a powerful signal. It tells us that Jamaicans abroad are not just connected emotionally to Jamaica, but are actively investing in a future here, owning homes, building roots, creating generational wealth. And that is exactly the kind of participation we want to see continue to grow. And that's why platforms like this conference are so important. They bring the right people together. They create space for meaningful conversations. And more importantly, they create the conditions for action. You know, I'm so aligned with what Ambassador Spencer said earlier, that we look forward to a future marked by unity, resilience, and shared purpose. And so as we look ahead to coming together in June 14 to 18, my encouragement is simple. Come ready to engage, come ready to share, and come ready to contribute. Because Jamaica's progress will come from all of us, working together wherever we are. Aligned, and thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Courtney Campbell, Chief Executive Officer of the VM Group. One more time for him, please. Thank you so much, sir. The work done by the VM Group for Jamaicans living abroad is without question. You have absolutely been offering financial solution for the diaspora for years, and we are so grateful. And as he said, come ready to engage, ready to share, and ready to contribute, because that is the way we advance our nation, if we can all together pool our efforts and our knowledge and our resources to take things further and farther as a strong nation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we heard from one of our legacy partners, and now we're going to be hearing from another of our legacy partners, from the Grace Kennedy Group. I know many of us opened that tin of Ackee, Grace Ackee, this morning. Okay, we did the right thing. Absolutely, absolutely. And so, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to this stage CEO, Mr. Frank James.
Yes, I hope you're enjoying your ackee and saltfish this morning. Grace Ackee. Thank you, Madam MC. And Madam MC, I'm not going to let Manchester be outdone, right? So Manchester is in the house. All right. So neighbors. It is always wonderful to be here at the ministry, so thank you very much, Minister, Senator, the Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith, for your welcome here. And of course, Honorable Alanda Terlong, great to be here. Senator Scott Motley, wonderful to see you. and all the distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a pleasure to bring greetings on behalf of the Grace Kennedy family as we mark the official launch of the 11th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference. Grace Kennedy remains proud to serve as a legacy partner of this important platform, which continues to strengthen the vital connection between Jamaica and our family all around the world. And indeed, you are family, we are family, so it is great to be welcoming our Jamaican family from around the world who are joining us online. This year's theme, Diaspora Partnerships, Rebuilding a More Resilient Jamaica, is both timely and very necessary. In recent times, we have been reminded quite starkly of the growing impact of climate change on small island states like ours. Hurricane Melissa was a powerful example. Its effects were devastating across Western Jamaica, where it disrupted lives, damaged infrastructure, and tested the resilience of our communities. But you know, in the face of that challenge, I also saw something truly remarkable. I saw that the power of togetherness is a force stronger than any hurricane. The power of togetherness is a force stronger than any hurricane. And so through partnerships, the Jamaican diaspora rallied around their family and friends back home in an extraordinary way. Whether it was financial support, supplies, advocacy, or coordination of efforts across borders, the diaspora helped to deliver immediate relief and support the early stages of recovery. That response made a meaningful difference to thousands of lives, and it is a reminder of what is possible when we work together. And at Grace Kennedy, we saw that firsthand. We saw that through our Grace Kennedy Money Services Network, where we saw the outpouring of support coming in from the diaspora leading up to the hurricane and immediately after the hurricane, where members of the diaspora supporting their loved ones, their families through financial resources were sending. And we did our part in being able to reduce those and eliminate those fees, and you responded. The diaspora responded in support of their loved ones. And while Jamaica has made significant progress since Melissa, the recovery continues. This is not an overnight process. So rebuilding, we must do in a way that is more resilient, more sustainable, and making us better prepared for the future. And that's our shared responsibility. And that is why this conference matters. It is not just a gathering, but it is a platform for action. It brings us together to strengthen partnerships, but more importantly, to translate those partnerships into meaningful outcomes. And I heard Keith talk about measurable actions. So whether through investment, knowledge transfer, innovation, or community impact, we must make meaningful outcomes. The true value of diaspora engagement lies in what we build together after the conversations at the conference have ended. Climate resilience is not just about responding to disasters, it is about how we build, how we invest, and how we operate every day. It requires stronger infrastructure, smarter agriculture, more resilient supply chains, and collaboration across borders. At Grace Kennedy, this is something we are actively working towards. Across our own operations, we have been strengthening our resilience through investments in alternative energy solutions, helping to reduce our dependence on traditional power sources, through the deployment of satellite internet connectivity, both of which prove critical in maintaining operations and communication in the aftermath of the hurricane. We have also been reinforcing our business continuity planning, ensuring that our teams are prepared to respond quickly and effectively in times of disruption. And this is key because it includes training and having clear protocols for our people and supporting them, not just in terms of what they need to do, but in terms of their own mental and emotional preparation for these kinds of events. And I was personally very moved in going around the island immediately after the hurricane and seeing members of our team who came out even in the midst of their own devastation. And when asked, how come you are here, they said, we needed to support the community. And that's what partnership is about, being able to come out and support one another. And so we look forward to working with the diaspora as we continue to build this community. These are some of the practical steps, but they are also part of a broader shift, building systems that can withstand shocks and recover quickly, because we're in a world where we're moving from one crisis to the next. The diaspora has a critical role to play in accelerating this transition. Your expertise, your global perspective, and your willingness to invest and engage can help Jamaica build smarter, stronger, and more sustainably. This is an opportunity to ensure that we are engaging the full diversity of our diaspora, different generations, different professions, different sectors, all coming together so that the impact can be even greater. It will take strong partnerships between government, private sector, and diaspora to ensure Jamaica not only recovers, but emerges stronger and better prepared for the future. Because the truth is, no single person or group can do this alone. We have already seen a powerful example of what kind of partnership can look like with the government of Jamaica's announcement of a historic $6.7 billion in reconstruction package, assembled with the support of international financial institutions to help rebuild over the next 3 years. This represents a big opportunity to reset and strengthen critical systems and infrastructure. And it comes with great responsibility because it has come at a high price. We had to pay a very high price in the form of infrastructure, lives, well-being, families to get this. So we cannot waste this opportunity that has been afforded us. As a company with Jamaican roots and a global reach, Grace Kennedy is fueled by the strength of the diaspora, by the strength of you, our diaspora. And we pursue our vision of becoming the #1 Caribbean brand in the world, built on that fuel of our diaspora. Your continued support through your engagement with our products, our services, and your connection to home is a critical part of who we are as a company. At the same time, a strong and connected diaspora benefits Jamaica in even broader ways. By strengthening your own businesses, building your networks, and supporting each other in the markets where you live and work, you are creating that opportunities that extend back to Jamaica through investment, trade, and knowledge sharing. So a strong diaspora is good for Jamaica, and so we want throughout this conference for you to also find opportunities to build and strengthen the diaspora as we build and strengthen Jamaica. As we prepare for this 11th staging, I encourage all involved to engage fully. Bring your ideas, share your expertise, and identify practical ways that we can work together to build a more resilient Jamaica. Let us use this moment not just to reflect, but to act in the interest of Jamaica, land we love. Thank you.
You know Jamaica? Let's talk about Jamaica. Let's talk business. Let's talk opportunity, manpower, and stability. Let's talk infrastructure and location. Let's talk about manufacturing, agriculture, energy, logistics, business process outsourcing, and tourism. Let's talk about your business. Let's talk vision and growth. Let's talk success. Now you know Jamaica. Enough talk. Let's do business. Do business, Jamaica.
Absolutely. Do business, Jamaica. Do business like Grace Kennedy, right? Put your hands together again, please, for Mr. Frank James, CEO of Grace Kennedy, and of course, a gentleman from Manchester. Somebody said over there earlier on, boy, Clarendon getting a whole heap of big up. So, sir, thank you so much for representing for your parish and representing so well for your company, Grace Kennedy. In fact, as he said it, Grace Kennedy is fueled by the strength of the diaspora, and that's exactly what this conference is aimed at doing, allowing the diaspora to come out and show out in fine form. So ensure that you book your time here, please, in Jamaica. Come home, man. Just come home. And let's rebuild this amazing country as a more resilient one as we look forward to a great, grand future for the next generation. And in fact, this generation as well. Let's enjoy it while we are here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be hearing at this time an endorsement for the conference. This one comes from the National Identification and Registration Authority, NIRA, and we have with us Ms. Nicole White, Marketing and Planning Manager. Please make her welcome. And as Nicole is making her way onto the podium, just want to say good morning again to the persons joining us online. They are there telling us where they're from, where they're representing, and who's going to be at the conference. It's a very good look. In fact, on the VM platform, you had to appoint over 120 persons there joining. So that's very good. That's very good. So thank you so much for the persons who are joining us via VM's YouTube page and also JIS. Do we have Ms. White with us? Mrs. White? She's probably not in the room at this time, but we will try to get her here shortly. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, our Honorable Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, he made us very excited earlier on, talking about the technology of the conference, and I'm very excited to hear more. So at this time, I invite from Optimity Group, Mr. Mario Sparks, who's going to be talking to us about the conference technology. Please make him welcome.
Good morning, everybody. Senator the Honorable Kamina Johnson, Senator Desmond McKenzie, Minister of State Alanda Terlong, Senator Motley, Ambassador Franz Hall, legacy partners, distinguished guests, good morning. We at the Optimity Group, we're very excited to be the technology partner for, and I'll steal a term from Senator Johnson last week, to the Biennial 11th Living Spur Conference. It's our pleasure to be responsible for all the technology that will be used at the conference. After having been to a number of conferences in Europe, in Africa, we are very excited to bring a difference in how the delegates connect, in how the diaspora connects with the legacy partners, with the exhibitors that are at the conference. We strongly believe in decision making, and if it is that we're going to have a resilient Jamaica, that needs to be driven by data, and that needs to be driven by real data. Now, we have, and I'm sure most of you may or may not have jumped on our platform. It's not just to register. We have enhanced the entire flow of how the diaspora members will interact with each other, with how the delegates will interact with each other. I'll just quickly touch on a few points here. So at Optimity Group, we came up with a piece of technology called AITix Connect, and Senator Terlong mentioned it earlier, where we thought, as opposed to simply having a QR code or a business card, being exchanged at these conferences, when you check in at the conference, you'll be given a wristband, an NFC wristband. Now, when you sign up online, the information that you would have entered, whether it is your number, your LinkedIn profile, your Instagram profile, you have the ability to turn on and off sharing, right? Now, let's say I run into, another member of the diaspora say, hey, my name is Mario Sparks, what's your name? As opposed to taking out your QR code or another device, all you simply will do is use your phone, tap their wristband, and their profile in terms of their business card will pop up. You can save their contact. You can select, for follow-up meetings, and that will essentially enhance the engagement or the instant way in which you can actually connect with members at the conference. On our app as well, we have booth directory and storefront exploration. So you're able to go on and see all the booths, all the exhibitors that will be there. You'll be able to set meetings with the exhibitors, understand exactly what their offerings are. And, before you actually see who is there, sort of plan what your meetings could be or who you are interested in, right? We have, of course, our meeting scheduling portion of the app, which shows which meetings you may be assigned to, meetings you might be interested in. So as opposed to, looking at a static agenda, you're able to see that nicely from our portal. We have something that we thought was pretty cool, which is Connect Suggest. Now, how many times have you been to a conference? You run into somebody in the morning. They may not have an offering that you are interested in, but you run into another individual in the afternoon, and you say, you know what? I think these two persons should meet. So you go in the app, and you place the first name, or you search the first name of the first person you would have met, and then you place the second name of the person you would have met in the afternoon, and you select Connect Suggest. It sends out a notification to both persons to say, hey, I think you guys should meet based on your offering and based on the conversation that I would have had with the other person, right? So we're adding different features to essentially make the whole connection process a little bit more seamless. Now, how many times have you been at a conference and you're sitting and you're listening to a presentation, but you may be shy to get up and ask a question? You may have a question, but you're not quite sure exactly how to phrase it. You can simply sit on your phone, on our app, send a question which will be managed by an administrator. That question would be approved, and then it is pushed to the moderator on stage. So your question now can be asked amongst the panels, right? So it's there to increase, interactions. You can also do live polling of sessions or for exhibitors that are at the conference, right? Is everybody following? All right. We have also enhanced or the B2B offering that will be at the conference with something that's called Tap Suggest. Now, you walk up, say, for example, you walk up to a booth, because all your, and by the way, we are GDPR compliant, if anybody's wondering. You walk up to an exhibitor booth, you have your wristband on. What the exhibitor will simply do is tap your wristband. When they tap your wristband, it autofills who you are, and it's using our AI that is built into the platform. It starts to give you talking points or questions to ask the attendee. So the idea is to shorten the sales cycle. Now, let's say, for example, I am there and I have visited Scotiabank, I visited Sagicor, and I'm now at the JN booth. When I tap my wristband, it comes up and it says, hey, Mario Sparks, CEO of the Optimity Group, he visited Scotiabank, Sagicor, he's probably interested in a loan, right? These are the questions you should ask him. These are probably his interests. Does that make sense? So the idea is to ensure that the delegates and the exhibitors are able to seamlessly, or the delegates, the exhibitors are able to understand clearly and to cut through the weeds and cut through the unnecessaries to get you right to the point, because the whole idea of the conference is to build the connection and to actually close deals and convert those into opportunities, right? We also have our speed networking module, in which B2B members can be a part of, and I'm not quite sure if this module will be used, but if there are B2B members who want to be a part of the speed networking initiative, It simply allocates, whether it is 10 minutes, 15 minutes, so individuals are able to connect seamlessly. We have what we also have Live Connect, where, let's say, for example, you want to just meet some random persons, because we understand persons are also shy, right? You are able to go onto our Live Connect section of the app, and once somebody else joins, it simply just connect you with an individual in the queue. You start having conversations about, points that you're interested in, opportunities that you may have, while you're in Jamaica. If that conversation isn't going, where you are, you simply click next and you go to the other individual, right? So there are tons of other features that we have built in, but, I could be up here for a little bit. So we're going to be here for the rest of the presentation. So if anybody is interested in understanding a little bit more about the tech, about what it is that we have to offer, you can either see myself or my 2 directors. Thank you so much.
Incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, can we just show appreciation one more time, please? Optimity Group with the good stuff. I know Jamaicans, when they come inside the hall, they're going to be saying, boy, Jamaica, the thing no fenke at all. The thing turn up. Wow. We have come a long way, really. We're so excited about what we're hearing here. And I especially love the tap suggest, and there's a speed networking for B2B. You're saying, Mario, that you're not sure that people will take advantage of it. Oh, I think that they will for sure. That's going to be a real winner for the conference. So we say thank you so much again to Optimity for providing that solution. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're here for the conference. You have so much to expect. You've been hearing it all morning long. We are the country of jerk chicken, jerk pork, Mr. Campbell, for sure. Yes, we are. Grace Aki, and so much more. We are the country, of course, of great music. And so we would definitely have some music for you. At this time, we're going to be making way for a saxophonist who's very, very, very talented. One of the things that we love about our Jamaican people is just how talented they are, and they continue to blow our minds every time we see them perform live, and he's about to do just that. He, of course, is one of the island's finest saxophonists. The budding musician developed his talents through his tenure at the Alpha Boys School in Kingston, where he was taken under the wings of Winston Sparrow Martin at a tender age of 7. And here he is this morning to give us great music. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Cadon Music.
Obstacles in my way.
That's what bright, sunshiny days and clear nights look like, for sure. Thank you so much for that video from the JTB. Can you put our hands together one more time, please, with Mr. Cannon Music? Cannon, I'm like, well, you haven't played a Barry's Hammond, Cannon. Come on. Well, thank you so much for your presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, our keynote speaker. There's so much to be said, but I'm sure she's going to have all there is to say. As we've been saying from we started this morning, the Jamaican diaspora falls within the purview of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. And since assuming responsibility, our senator has presided over 4 biennial Jamaica diaspora conferences, and I think that deserves a big round of applause. Our senator has also convened diaspora consultations and engagements across continents, promulgated the National Diaspora Policy, and established the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council and the Global Jamaica Diaspora Youth Council as tools of deeper engagement. And for sure, this conference is going to be providing everyone that opportunity for deeper engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask that we put our hands together. Let's welcome to the podium at this time our keynote speaker, Senator the Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith, our Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade.
Thank you, our Master of Ceremonies and Minister Mackenzie. I'm happy to tell the crowd that I am representing the KSA municipality. Kingston and St. Andrew is in the house, and we are in downtown Kingston. Wonderful. But on behalf of Minister Terry Long, Acting Permanent Secretary Spence, and the entire Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade team, I want to greet and welcome my Senate counterpart, opposition counterpart, representing the Leader of the Opposition, Senator Scott Motley, and my dear Cabinet colleague, Minister Desmond Mackenzie, who has many links to our immediate surroundings. Want to welcome you and thank you very much. Want to welcome also our chair, our legacy partners, Dean and members of the Diplomatic Corps, other permanent secretaries who are present today, other representatives of ministries, departments, and agencies, members of our Global Jamaica Diaspora Council and our Global Jamaica Diaspora Youth Council, members and representatives of other diaspora organizations, all joining us online, members of the Jamaican family, good morning. It is really my very, very, very great pleasure to welcome you today as we officially launch the 11th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference to be held at the Montego Bay Convention Center at in the beautiful city of Montego Bay, 14th to the 18th of June this year. So we will celebrate Diaspora Day together in Montego Bay under the timely and powerful theme, Diaspora Partnerships, Rebuilding a More Resilient Jamaica. We have been through a lot over the past few years. A once-in-a-century pandemic, fallout from geopolitical conflicts, significant damage from unusual weather events, both droughts and flooding. And then we had 2 record-breaking hurricanes in back-to-back years. We've been able to navigate these challenges for many reasons: fundamental reforms, strategic management, the assistance of international partners, and indeed, the support of our diaspora family. The challenges we face now are, as the young people would say, next level. Damage and losses associated with the passage of Hurricane Melissa are at an estimated $1.952 trillion, 12.2 billion United States dollars. Thousands of homes and businesses, entire towns and communities destroyed and requiring reconstruction and, in many cases, relocation. Loss and damage of a scope, scale, and value that we quite simply as a country have not experienced before. A lesser country might be broken. A lesser country might be broken. We, however, as a country, are committed to not only recover resilience and reconstruction, but we are committed to finding the opportunities located within the challenges thrown up by Melissa. And we know this commitment is shared by Jamaicans at home and abroad, because the most amazing part of being Jamaican, and there are many things, there are many reasons. We could do a list, but it would take a long time. But the most amazing part is the resilience of the Jamaican spirit. As people, we have always displayed the ability to persevere, and this has shone particularly strongly in the post-Melissa response. In fact, our response and recovery has been described in some instances as better than first world, as they've never experienced people like this anywhere in any disaster elsewhere in the world. And even as we, as a government, learn every day from partnerships, approaches that we have taken are already being looked at by international agencies as models for replication in disaster response. There is, however, so much work that lies before us. People are still dislocated. Schools and hospitals still need support. Repair and reconstruction is underway, but we now need to ramp up scope and scale. Yesterday, the Prime Minister opened the debate on the bill to establish the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority, which will anchor and centralize new processes and the level of focus and efficiency needed for this next phase. I know many of you are looking forward to learn more about NARA and how you can participate in reconstruction and rebuilding. So I'm happy to share that reconstruction and rebuilding and the participation of NARA will be among the many interesting subjects on the conference agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, I have every confidence that all Jamaicans will continue to come together to pull in the same direction as we build and rebuild a more resilient Jamaica. Indeed, we all acknowledge that diaspora partnerships will be a significant part of our emergence and resurgence from Melissa. So today's launch is more than a ceremonial beginning. It's a call to action. It is an invitation. It's an invitation to Jamaicans across generations, across the globe, to continue partnering with your homeland in shaping a stronger, more sustainable, and even more resilient Jamaica, and an invitation to Jamaicans who live here to join us and build new connections across the waters. For decades, the Jamaican diaspora has been one of our nation's greatest strengths. And while perspectives may be applied, different perspectives, I want to suggest today that we look at this strength as resting on two pillars. The first is that Jamaica has one of the largest and most dynamic communities in the world relative to the size of our population. Jamaicans have established themselves as leaders and critical stakeholders in practically every sector across the world, including business, academia, healthcare, technology, culture, public service. And this helps to bolster positive recognition of the qualities of Jamaica, of Jamaicans, and of Jamaican-ness in different spheres, in different spaces across the world. This is building and supporting Brand Jamaica. The second pillar of strength is that no matter how far we go, Jamaicans remain deeply connected to the land of our birth. Through philanthropy, investments, remittances, and knowledge transfer, many Jamaicans in the diaspora remain significantly involved in helping to sustain families, generate economic activity, strengthen schools and communities, and ultimately support national development. Our diaspora is not simply an external population, it is an integral part of the Jamaican fabric. For these and other reasons, diaspora engagement remains an important pillar of our foreign policy, and the diaspora itself, the Jamaican community overseas, remains one of our most important partners. The government recognizes and values the remarkable contributions from members of the diaspora across the globe, and moreover, we believe in the need to deepen and expand our engagement. Recognizing that the diaspora is not homogeneous, has different needs, different desires, and interests in how its members connect with Jamaica as their home country. And so we try to also vary how it is that we promote greater mutuality and partnership geared towards ensuring Jamaica's development in multiple areas. And this is why the multifaceted nature of this conference is so fascinating and important. I would, however, like to just briefly reference some areas of direct partnership. For example, under the Ministry of Health and Wellness's Adopt a Clinic initiative, started in 2017, 59 health centers across Jamaica were adopted, and 37 of those by diaspora organizations, providing funding and technical support to strengthen community healthcare services. But now we look at the fact that Melissa has damaged 65 health centers out of the 101 that exist. So work is underway to assess them fully and to look at how partnerships can enhance the already excellent work undertaken and how programs currently in place can be adjusted in order to take note of what lies ahead. Diaspora partnerships have undoubtedly also contributed to capacity building in education and public safety. Collaborative programs facilitated through diaspora networks have also provided professional training for teachers and correctional officers. The list goes on. In the spirit of mutuality, the government's Jamaica Diaspora Engagement Model for National Development, the JADEM app, creates platforms through which diaspora entrepreneurs, philanthropists, and professionals can share their own expertise, support their own endeavors within their communities, and contribute to investment and innovation as amongst the community, supporting each other. May I express once again, however, on behalf of the government of Jamaica, our appreciation for the amazing expressions of solidarity by the diaspora in the aftermath of Melissa. It cannot be overstated, as Ambassador Spencer stated earlier. Many of you journeyed from far and wide. You left your work and came home. You went to the disaster zone. You rolled up your sleeves and you involved yourselves in rescue operations, logistics coordination, community outreach, and the earliest stages of rebuilding. Many of you gave cash and kind directly from the heart, from the small to the large, directly to relatives and communities, and of course, through the Support Jamaica platform. Many of you rallied to answer the call for and by our diplomatic and consular missions overseas. And even as we acknowledge that there is still so much to be done, it is so heartening and so heartwarming to know and to have witnessed your love and commitment, which never fails. We say once more, thank you. Our Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference, the reason we are here, provides an excellent platform for you in strengthening the relationship and harnessing the positive efforts and energy that exist for mutual benefit and nation building. Since its inception some 22 years ago, the conference has provided an opportunity for dialogue and reflection on shared achievements, to address emerging challenges, and to identify new pathways for engagement. But it has also provided a platform for action. And in most recent years, the additional, more intentional aspects of promoting investment, wealth creation, and support for innovation and partnerships, they have been welcomed and they have been harnessed by all sides. So we welcome you and encourage you to be a part of where the action is. Ladies and gentlemen, the world we inhabit today is marked by rapid change and increasing uncertainty. Global economic shifts, climate change, public health crises, technological disruptions, and geopolitical tensions continue to impact our societies and economies. For small island developing states with open economies like Jamaica, these pressures can be particularly acute. So building resilience is not an option, it's essential. It is also not unidimensional. Resilience means strengthening our economy so that it can withstand external shocks. It means building communities that are even safer, healthier, and more inclusive. It means protecting our natural environment, even as we develop our built environment, including housing with an intention to prepare for the impacts of climate change. It means creating opportunities for our young people so that they can thrive both at home and abroad as we continue to rewrite Jamaica's story in a way that encourages more brain gain and less brain drain. And I'm happy to say that this has already started. I'm searching in the crowd for Dr. Brown, who is our Yes, he's still our poster child for returning academia. We have Camille Didier from Island Car Rentals, who is also returning in the private sector. We have Kwame McPherson in public health and creative industries, among so many more. The return is happening, and we encourage you all to come and hear more about it, because this will be a new element of the conference as well. In this vein, we view diaspora partnerships as being indispensable. The conference which we're launching today clearly does not represent the journey, but it's such a critical part of it. And the theme does not pretend that at the end of 4 days, we will have built a more resilient Jamaica. But the ethos is so critical to our success. The conference will serve to unlock mutually beneficial opportunities in areas such as trade and investment, advancing technology and innovation, creative and cultural industries, healthcare, education, housing, sustainable development, and entrepreneurship. Safety and security, we are never taking for granted. And there is also so much to be done, deepening collaboration in areas such as climate resilience, disaster preparedness, and community development, leveraging much of the focus and currency engendered by Melissa. My Jamaican family, the 11th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference will provide you with an environment in which you can identify practical avenues through which you can play an even greater role in Jamaica's transformation. So as we look forward to June, as we look ahead, we are particularly excited to welcome you back to the Rock. Many of you will be returning home for the first time in several years. You will not only be met with the impact of Melissa, particularly in the West, but you will see without doubt change and transformation emerging. You will feel the gains made in security and infrastructure, for example, and others who have been visiting more regularly recently will be visiting again with renewed purpose to explore new investment opportunities, to reconnect with communities, and to contribute to Jamaica's development journey. Some of you will be the people who are asking me, why can't we have the conference again in 2025, since 2024 was so good? As I promised then, as you blink, it's going to be 2026, because here we are. So we look forward to welcoming you back, because whatever category in which you fall, you will, I promise you, feel the energy of possibility and potential. We also anticipate strong participation from our diaspora young people whose energy, creativity, and global outlook are essential to shaping Jamaica's future. We look forward to supporting their connections across jurisdictions, as well as generational distance is a matter we are also working on as we look at the sustainability and resilience of diaspora engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you'll permit me to just take this opportunity to acknowledge the many individuals and institutions that are working tirelessly to organize this conference, including Jamaica National as conference chair, our two other legacy partners, VM and the Grace Kennedy Group, our new partners who are on board, those who have committed more money than they originally promised initially, and we encourage others to buy in and lean in to this concept. VM, you really delivered for us as chair in 2024, so we want to give you a special recognition. And if anyone sees a particular lightness in Mr. Campbell's step, it's because he doesn't have the weight that will hold down Mr. Levy and, of course, Mr. Jarrett and his team as we all work together, because it's quite a bit of heavy lifting, and you will be able to just enjoy it more this year. But honestly, our private sector sponsors you. We really couldn't do it without you, so we thank each and every one of you, those who are returning and those who are new. And we encourage new partners like Optimity, who is really bringing a new approach to many things. I want to just highlight for you again, you may have missed it, but he said they are GDPR compliant. This means that they are compliant with the highest best practice of data protection. So when you hear about him saying sharing this and sharing that, it's all actually legally covered by strong privacy management technology. So we want to give you that assurance as well. And please feel free to ask all questions. I want to also I thank all our ministry department and agency partners. You are phenomenal at every stage. We could not do this without you. And I want to also thank my amazing team at the ministry, led, of course, by Minister Terry Long, who has been driving the Diaspora department to deliver, and to deliver more. Your dedication reflects the spirit of partnership, all of you, that lies at the heart of Diaspora engagement. So to our Jamaican brothers and sisters around the world, I again extend a special invitation to you. Come home and join us for the 11th Biennial Diaspora Conference. To every Jamaican here and everyone that is interested in partnerships and in making new connections for business, the creative and cultural industry, philanthropy, or indeed any of the subjects to be discussed, we're inviting you to visit the app, to visit the site. Details are going to be emerging as we roll out all the information to you. You may be surprised at the prospects that arise in things that you didn't even anticipate or contemplate when you decided to come. So just come, because it will be beyond expectations. The opportunity to share your ideas, your expertise, and your vision for the future of this country is being offered by this conference. And the opportunity to build your brand is being offered at this conference. By doing so, you not only build your own business, build your own personal business, but you also play an active part in building and rebuilding a Jamaica that is stronger, more resilient, and more prosperous for generations to come. The challenges we face as a nation are real, but so too is the Jamaican spirit, and so too are the opportunities waiting to be grasped. With the combined strength and creativity and commitment of Jamaicans at home and abroad, there is no limit to what we will achieve together. So as we launch this conference today, let us reaffirm our shared commitment to partnership. Let us continue building bridges between Jamaica and her global community, and let us work collectively to rebuild and indeed reimagine a truly more resilient Jamaica. I thank you all once more.
Very well delivered. One more time, please, for Honorable Minister. Absolutely. Let me tell you, man, that saying Jamaican people will lick about with Talawa, or Talawa was tested last year, right? Absolutely. And here we are on the other side of it all and moving forward a little bit more stronger and clearer about what's to do, what we can actually contribute to make this nation one that we want to live in. We want to raise our families. We want to do business. And we also want to retire. And so, as the minister said it, we're inviting you to come home. Jamaican word to come a yard. Come home and let us build this amazing country. And I saw some comments in the YouTube chat. There's a lady who said, listen, I'm from Canada and I'm coming to defrost. So she said she's absolutely coming, Minister. When you said, you're extending that invitation, she said that we are coming. So big up to the Canadian team there. We cannot wait to have you here with us. We thank the Minister again for her keynote address. Put your hands together again for her, please. The Minister from Kingston, Jamaica. Somebody said under the clock. So, Minister Mackenzie there smiled and nodded, right? Yes, absolutely. And big up to the Kingstonians in the room as well. We're not going to go around you guys. Oh, there you are. Okay, fine. And the Kingstonians in the YouTube chat as well. Listen, we are winding down, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to also advise you and really ask of you that you follow the ministry's pages, please. They are all over social media. The handle is MFAFTJA. It's on Instagram. It's on TikTok. I believe it's also on X. And you use the hashtag BJDC11. That is hashtag BJDC11. When you're having your conversation online, we are able to see what you have been saying, and we take all your remarks and your suggestions. So at this time, we're inviting to give us the acknowledgments Ambassador Franz Hall, Conference Coordinator, a man who has been hard at work since everything started. Please put your hands together. Let's welcome him to the stage.
I'm sorry, I'm still very old school with my paper and folder. Good afternoon, ministers, senior government officials, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. As you heard, my name is Franz Hall, and I'm serving as conference coordinator for the 11th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference. Of course, my task here is to give the acknowledgments and the vote of thanks, but certainly I cannot do it as eloquently as Minister just did, but I'll give it a go in any case. Certainly, if you had not planned to attend the Diaspora Conference before this launch, I think you would have to reconsider based on the statements and remarks that we've just heard from Minister and the speakers that have gone before her. I thank Minister or ministers and our Acting Permanent Secretary, Chair of Conference, and other speakers for sharing their thoughts with us this morning and making it clear why attending the 11th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference is a must. To other participants in the program, Bruce Fletcher, thank you for your words of invocation, speaking to unity. And of course, Ramon Gordon, if you need a manager, I'm available. That rendition of the anthem was really excellent. Minister, I didn't know you had such talent on staff. The support and involvement of other ministries, departments, and agencies, of course, are critical to ensuring the success of conference. We thank ministers, permanent secretaries, and heads of departments and agencies for your partnership, your expertise, your time, your staff, importantly, and your commitment to the conference process. To our legacy partners, Jamaica National, who is current chair, Grace Kennedy Group Limited, the VM Group, you have stood with us from the beginning, and your service to country through your extraordinary support of the conference over these past 22 years reflect an unshakable commitment to national development. To other private sector partners, you heard the invitation from Minister Johnson Smith. We look forward to your partnership. We appreciate your support and look forward to cultivating a mutually beneficial relationship sustaining into the future. A key partner, of course, in this entire process is the diaspora, and your continued motivation to help build Jamaica underscores the fact that Jamaica is a country that extends far beyond the confines of geography. I also acknowledge you, the attendees to the launch in person and online, for spending part of your Wednesday morning with us, now early afternoon. We hope you found this engaging, informative, inspiring, and that it will serve as a call to action to register and support the conference. And of course, our excellent Master of Ceremonies, Debbie Bissoon, who has taken us on a journey this morning. Thank you so much. Kingston and St. Andrew, by the way. But thank you so much for getting us in the mind and in the vibe to come home and to support the Diaspora Conference. Of course, through dialogue and engaging with Jamaicans from all across the globe, the conference represents a unique model of partnership and presents opportunities to positively affect the development of our beloved country. We thank you for your support and look forward to seeing you at the 11th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference in June. The conference website is up, and that website is bjDC.mfaft.gov.jm. Please visit, please register, and we look forward to seeing you in June. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. Thank you so much for your acknowledgments. And I know that, there are persons online right now saying a whole heap of things. I don't hear Westmoreland name calling. Anybody inside here from Westmoreland? Westmoreland. Oh, there we go. Online audience, there's one person inside here from Westmoreland. Well represented. Thank you so much. Right, there we go. Okay, fine. So it's the Westmoreland. Let's Montego Bay, because they're having the conference in Montego Bay. One person from Montego Bay. Okay, there we go. That's okay. Montego Bay gonna have all of us come June, right? Exactly. Okay, where am I now? Where did I skip? Hanover. I skipped Hanover. Anybody here from Hanover? Nobody here from Hanover? Oh, one person there from Hanover. Thank you so much. Two persons from Hanover. Okay, so we're in Trelawney now. Anybody here from Trelawney? Trelawney team, 3 persons. There you go. You come out strong, man. What? 3 persons. So Trelawney, St. Anne. 3 persons from St. Anne. I see the hands. Okay, St. Mary. St. Mary, you have your own airport, though. Come on. Come on. Okay, well, we have one person there from St. Mary. All right, St. Mary, and then we're over to Portland. Portland, my favorite parish. Love Clarendon, but of course, you have one person there from Portland. Anybody from St. Thomas? That is good. We should always, yes, hello. We have to declare we're from St. Thomas. St. Thomas got a highway, right? Things are very different down that side. Hello. Okay. Coming across now, yes, we talk about Kingston and St. Andrew team. Yes, Kingston and St. Andrew. I miss out somebody? St. Andrew, sorry. There is a distinction. She said Kingston, so represent for Kingston, woo, and then St. Andrew. Right. There is a difference. Okay, St. Catherine. Two persons from St. Catherine. Let me be specific. Can I say Portmore? Okay, well, there, see there, Minister Terry Long, of course, representing in fine form. I said Clarendon already. I'm going to say it again. Clarendon. There we go. Mandeville, Manchester peeps in the house. That's what it's all about. St. Elizabeth. Okay. I think I cover everybody, right? Okay, good. Jamaicans at home and abroad. No, that's what it's all about, man. Please book your tickets. Get here. June 14 to the 18th here in Jamaica, Montego Bay, for this amazing conference. Again, we just want to remind you, we'll have a high-level opening ceremony and keynote address. There's also sessions featuring national and international leaders. We have a thematic breakout session where there'll be several of them for in-depth dialogue and solution building. There'll be business and investment forums, government at your service interface. You'll be able to fast-track so many services there on location in Montego Bay. There's also the marketplace for Jamaican goods and services, cultural showcases highlighting resilience and national identity. There's also the Day of Service, enabling participants to directly contribute to rebuilding efforts in affected communities. You cannot afford to miss it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end and the conclusion of this launch event. But for sure, we are going to be in Montego Bay come June 14 to 18. It has been my pleasure. My name is Debbie Bissoon. Have a bonononos rest of day. Blessings. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, quick announcement. There is refreshment on the exterior right there. As you exit through those doors, you will see it. Please indulge and let us eat together.